To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
I'm Thomas Munn with Blue Juice Comics, and you're watching The Experience.
Hey! Hi, friend. It's us! Fat Jack's Comicrypt! Let's get ready to do something. What's up? I'm Brendan. It's Al. Jason, Banana over there hanging out. The new breakout star of the Fat Jack's live stream shows. Just running away with it, you know? Yeah, so let's figure this out. I don't have much to say, so let's just do business real quick. There we go. You're finally, man, you're finally in the Chiron. Brendan and Al, and a banana. Yes. Nice. Thank you, Kyle. Oh, and Kyle is there on the board hanging out with us. A producer extraordinaire. So again, we are a claimed sales show, or whatever the heck the term is. So we are going to attempt to talk, entertain, and sell some comic books. So the way that we do that is to claim books in the chat. Please be as specific as possible to avoid any misunderstanding. No matter what we're talking about, even if we're not specifically talking about anything that you see up here, you can ask questions and claim. Al will maintain watching what's going on in the chat. Even Jason sometimes comes through. So we will always prioritize what you are interested in, no matter what bullshit is flying out of my mouth, that's for sure. Oh yeah, we'll try not to curse too much, trying to maintain that. Al's got one, probably F-bomb at some point. It'll probably come later in the show, so by that point no one's watching, so we'll be okay. They can just edit it out and be like, that last half hour never happened. It's just all yeah. It's good stuff. So claiming the chat, all that kind of stuff. If you are here in the Philadelphia area and you have access to our Center City shop, any books that you claim you can pick up here. Your name will be under your name behind the register. If you are closer to our Oakland, New Jersey shop, we will obviously send the books over there for you to pick them up. And if you are outside of the area and you need us to ship the books, if you've shopped with us before, we've obviously probably have your contact and shipping information. But if this is your first time with us, we're going to need to get that contact and shipping information. And the best way to do that is to contact us at our show email, which is fjccshow@gmail.com. Al's, we usually do that around like Monday, Tuesday, early in the week.
Usually get invoiced. Whatever gets claimed on this show today will get invoiced tomorrow, Tuesday. And at that point, you have 10 days from invoice date to pay for your books. If that's going to be a problem, you need to let me know. Otherwise, your books are getting cold. I'll do a second email just to follow up. But if we're not past 10 days, that's it, people.
Yeah, nothing personal. Just, trying to, keep the business going.
And honestly, it hasn't, since we've started making these, it hasn't really been an issue. And I appreciate everybody working with us.
Thank you very much.
Because it makes it that much easier on this end.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody.
And then Mike doesn't give us the hairy eyeball, like, what are you fools doing? Let's think, what else? Shipping costs. first item, $7. After that, we got Zayn in the chat.
He is.
Yes, Zayn, good to see you, buddy. Sixers are on tonight, 8:30. Raptors.
Zayn, what up, though?
Yeah.
Put that with bets right now.
What's that?
Really put that with bets.
Oh yeah, Jason's got to get his bets in,
Sorry.
his parlays. He better just make sure that whoever he bets on is actually playing in the game.
Only happened once.
Oh, by the way, Phils, thank you very much. You made this a very good weekend for me as a Phillies fan. You will probably have one of the historically worst defenses of all time, but I'm pretty sure you're going to beat people 12-10. All right, so what else? If you want to follow us on social media, the best way to do that is at the FJC Paradox. Thanks for everyone for being so supportive. And even though it's not a big deal for people where social media is old hat at this point, I am proud to tell Al that we are quickly closing in on 300 followers. Real validation of nothing. I know, right? Oh man, gotta do something.
Maybe it'll be the 300th episode of this.
Okay.
That we do top. Because you'll hit 300 followers probably in a week. Like
it's possible.
I mean, by this spring.
Yeah.
By this summer.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. There are some people who've been clamoring for some top lists here, specifically Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so boom. So anything else? We're not. I think we've done the business, the chat, all that kind of crap. All right, so what we're going to do from this point on, you can always, if you need to, another way to contact us is at our number, 215-963-0788. And with that said, I mentioned before, we will prioritize. So if you want to move this along, you only have a certain period of time, and you're afraid I'm not going to get to the thing you want to talk about, just let us know in the chat, and we will obviously prioritize that. Just in case, we'll get this in more detail, but for anyone who did not catch our local show on our Facebook page, which we do from 4:30 to about 5:45-ish before we're here on The Experience on the Fat Jack's Comicrypt Facebook page, a few books that made it through the show and are still here. We got a few Star Wars The High Republic, a couple Star Wars The High Republic Trail of Shadows. We have only 2 Ninja Turtles from the original series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 9. We also have the Donatello Micro Series one-shot. We also have, don't get too excited, that Ultimate Fallout number 4 is the facsimile edition, not the first print, not a second print. And then we do have 2 Infinite Crisis, issue number 3 and issue number 4, but those are sketch variant second prints. So we got those up there. And I think other than that, everything else. Oh, yeah. We had 3 Marvel Comics Presents, issue 72, 73, and 74. That is the first 3 parts of the classic Weapon X story by Barry Windsor Smith. So if anyone is curious about those, let Al know, and we'll talk about them. If not, for anyone who's following us over from the local show, we're going to get into the books that we did not get to. So we'll start from there.
This lime, pineapple, and anchovies on pizza is delightful because you get the salty and the sweet. I'm just saying.
Are you trying to make me nauseous?
No, I'm just saying.
What is happening?
He likes pineapple.
So
Jason likes pineapple on pizza. I think a lot of people like pineapple.
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I don't hate it.
I think it's
I don't
good.
hate
Pineapple mushrooms is really good.
So
pineapple and ham, Hawaiian pizza.
wait, Al.
I'm just saying. I don't eat anchovies or but it's
bridge too far for me.
Can we be clear though for a moment about Jason here?
Oh, no, he's weird.
So he not only likes pineapple on pizza, he also has terrible movie takes, like not liking Monster Squad.
I can't. One does not correlate with the other.
I
can't.
I think there's like a pattern here,
You
though.
know what? That's
His One Direction tattoo. That's one.
Now, hey,
well,
Music
don't
and
look at
films.
yeah.
Kind of correlates.
And you're not even a Harry Styles fan. You're like a Zanin or no, not Zanin. Zanin. I apologize. What's this guy name? It's Zebo, Zalo. Isn't there like a One Direction?
J-Lo.
Oh yeah, J-Lo. Yeah. Jason has a big J-Lo tattoo on his butt. You know, it's sort of an aspirational.
That was not public knowledge thing.
Okay.
That was for their special.
Oh,
Whiskey show is not.
That's true.
This is for us, all right?
We should start to create a raffle. And once we get to a certain, like our Kickstarter, once we get to a certain level, then Jason will show us all his J-Lo butt tattoo. Yeah. Think about it, everybody. Think about it. All right. Speaking of big butts, who wants to talk about Spawn? No. Who was it? Is it Mr. Benjamin or Mr. McHale that wanted to do the X-Men?
Who's interested in the X-Men? Mr. Story is interested in the Avengers.
Okay. So let's do the X-Men first. So I imagine most of you are going to immediately recognize these 5 books up here. It is a comic that it probably still is the most sold comic book of all time. But considering we are way past the 30th anniversary, and most people were upset at this book and have started to give it away, tear it up, throw it out, give it to their dog or their children. And so over time, high-grade copies of this have slowly dwindled. In fact, one of the first shows, probably the issue shows that we did, I once brought out an X-Men, and somebody told me, everyone has this, don't you dare try to sell it. Well, I decided I'm going to dare now. So we have, and in fact, I was actually shocked to find out these actually have some legitimate value. They've over the years, I think same thing happened with Superman 75, The Death of Superman. Once a lot of the posers got upset that they weren't able to send their children to college because they bought every die-cut cover of Adventures of Superman 500, usually got rid of them. When I say got rid of them, I mean like throw them out. So over time, these books are not as prevalent as they used to be, and they have gone up in value, as well as they've also become more historically relevant, and more specifically, as I've said many times on the show, we are in the throes of peak 90s nostalgia. And if you don't believe me, they are literally bringing back the 90s X-Men, like the animated series, that X-Men Adventures #1 has gone up in value. Marvel is starting to become maybe interested in bringing back the whole X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold teams. And the first time that concept ever appeared was 1991's X-Men #1. The second X-Men title, obviously X-Men, we're not counting X-Force, Excalibur, X-Factor, any of that kind of stuff, by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. It was a big deal. And part of the reason why X-Men #1 sold over 8 million copies, which would pretty much destroy the industry because they misunderstood. I think some people in the industry thought that 8 million people bought X-Men #1. No, they didn't. Let's say 2 million people bought 5 copies twice of X-Men #1. That's probably more likely. And the way that they did it is you had 4 interconnecting covers, and this is the first one. Now, this is considered X-Men #1A. That is a high-grade copy at $18. And then we have cover B, also a high-grade, $18. Cover C, high-grade, $18.
Next one's going to be D.
Cover Q.
Damn it!
Cover D. There we go. High grade, $18. And then what is sometimes referred to as cover E, but more often than not is considered the gatefold variant version of X-Men #1, the one that has all 4 of these covers all interconnected in one big pullout. There you have X-Men #1, high grade copy, $23. You get the first team appearance of X-Men Blue, first team appearance of X-Men Gold, first appearance of the Acolytes, who was like a Magneto cult, like Fabian Cortez and a bunch of other characters. Out of curiosity for you guys, were you at an age where you bought an X-Men #1?
I definitely bought one. I don't know if I had every. I feel like I probably bought every cover.
Okay.
It's funny you say that, but did you buy? I mean, Mr. Kieran?
Check your chat.
Oh, something happened?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I bought X-Men 1.
You bought X-Men 1.
Oh, but you got okay. So where I was getting at is I bought one copy of X-Men #1 because I was a 11-year-old who didn't have the cash to buy 5 copies of the same book. So I actually purchased the one that you have in your hand right now. Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is the cover I have now.
Yeah, because I think it was like $1 more. Yeah, these were $1.50, and I think that one might have been $3. Might have been like $2.95 or something. But I figured, why should I buy all 5 when I can just buy one that has all the covers?
See, that's the weird thing about back then. It's like the variant copies these are variants. Like it's a weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess now we would look back at them and refer to them as different variants. Yes. It's just
So all right, so
is there a confusion?
Mr. Williams, he claimed an X-Men #1. Mr. Kieran claimed, you guys got to tell me which cover.
Which one? Whatever one he doesn't want.
Mr. Xenon got the gatefold.
All right, Mr. Xenon.
Williams, what cover do you want? And then Mr. Kieran he'll back clean up.
Let's call it the Storm cover, the Colossus cover, the Cyclops cover, and the Magneto cover.
Let me buy my childhood back, man.
Hey, man.
Seriously.
Most people do.
Do you remember Mr. Catalina's days coming? He ran for like city council years ago.
Was he the one with the
He had a big bushy mustache.
big bush? Yes.
He was coming on Saturdays and just buy Marvel comics.
Yeah, your best friend.
He was a good dude.
Yeah, remember he tried to like proposition you in his life. It was a weird moment.
I remember he did. Nah, he was a good dude. If he's watching, what's up, Mr. Catalina? But he was convinced that there was a 5th cover that like folded down.
What?
So like it would be Magneto, and then it folds down, and it was just him like standing there. And I was like, dude, and he was like, no, I had it. There was a 5th cover, and so they all folded out, and then one folded down.
Maybe this one folding down.
And I've never seen it. I've never heard about it, but he was convinced he had a copy of this.
That's weird. Mr. Williams, real quick, the $23 one, that was the one Mr. Xenon grabbed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry, man. I imagine most people probably wanted the gatefold for the reasons why I probably bought it as an 11-year-old. But Mr. Xenon grabbed that first. That's really strange. Does anyone have any memory of that being a real thing? Because I don't think that that's real.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
But, it's a nice Fat Yax memory.
Yeah, and he was a really nice guy. Yeah. Strange dude, but nice guy.
You have Bodies #1?
I do have a Bodies #1. Yes, let's just throw that out real fast, and then we'll get back to the X-Men. This is Bodies #1, high-grade copy, $8. I found another copy earlier this week. We sold a couple, I think the last show or the show before. Yeah, so for anyone who's interested, we still have. And if you're unaware why this obscure Vertigo series is now, first issue is now valued around $8 to $10, it's because it's been optioned for a TV show. No surprise there. So we do have a Bodies #1.
Oh, no, he's good.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Thank you, Mr. Benjamin.
Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. All right, cool beans. All right, so while we work out, the gatefold is gone. So if anyone is interested, we still have 4 other X-Men #1s. Storm, Colossus, Cyclops, Magneto. There we go. And now we move to issue #2. We're gonna deuce it. Here we are, Magneto triumphant, still Chris Claremont, still Jim Lee. This is a high-grade copy at $6. And then we have what at the time was the final, in fact, the gentleman from earlier, did he grab X-Men #11?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's why that's gone. All right. Suddenly I realized something was missing. I was like, wait, what happened? But this issue number 3, X-Men number 3 from 1991, this was for a pretty long period of time the final Chris Claremont X-Men issue before he came back to the title in the early 2000s, much to my excitement until I started reading them. And I realized it's Claremont, there's a period of comic history that you are just an epic part of. But it just, your style just didn't translate for me later. But again, no shade, just teach your own.
It has a time.
Yeah.
There's enough here for everyone.
Yes, exactly. So the at the time final Claremont issue, X-Men number 3, high grade copy, $6. But Jim Lee continued. Claremont left. Jim Lee continued.
I bet you people read that and then read The Good Agent and be like, that's the most boring thing I've ever read in my life. Where's Wolverine? Where's Omega Red? Where's Rogue?
Speaking of Omega Red, I imagine most of you recognize the cover, and they also have big Fat Jack stickers on them, which usually indicates a valuable key. And we have 2 copies of X-Men number 4, which is the first appearance of Omega Red. This is our high grade copy at $50. And then we have a $40 copy, which is graded at a very fine plus. But again, that is the first appearance of Omega Red. And if we want to get into a fun argument, do we consider his left hand and a phallic whip thing to be the first cover appearance of Omega Red? Or is it issue 5 where him and Wolverine are like making out? Like rough, like really rough kissing. They're like all just slobbering on each other. It's very awkward.
I'm gonna go with the next issue.
No.
Yeah.
No, we'll go with this one.
Let me see how much of his physical form is.
All right, there you go.
That's Omega Red.
You get a hand.
He's got the Mega symbol on his hand. He's got the whips.
Chat, does anyone have an opinion here?
Short of being Iron Man 2, it's Omega Red. Omega Red.
Gary Locke, where you at? Come on, back.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this nonsense cover?
So there we go. We have 2 copies of X-Men number 4, the first appearance of Omega Red, and possibly the first cover appearance. We have a beautiful high-grade copy at $50, and then we have a very fine plus at $40. And I think, I know what the issue is. There's a weird like smudge on the back cover, but it's like on like a white, so it looks like it was a printing defect, like because it has some color to it, and the color is very familiar to the ad. So I don't know, but I considered it a flaw, and I graded it accordingly. Other than that, this thing is just as nice as the higher grade one. But again, I'm trying to avoid a situation where someone's like, dude, there's a weird smudge on the back cover. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the last X-Men book we skip ahead, I think 4 years, up to issue number 53, the first appearance of Onslaught. Now, this is a very fine plus copy at $20, and that's primarily because there's a little bit of spine stress. There's like 1, 2, yeah, that's about it. But still, graded accordingly in the clutches of in fact, is that Onslaught's first cover appearance?
Well,
I don't know. I mean, it's his fingers. Everybody, first cover appearance?
Onslaught was a perception of Magneto and
Can't even think of it.
No, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, you going to say something?
No, I'm going to say it's his first cover appearance.
Okay.
Again, with the Omega Red 2 with the hand.
Did someone make a good argument?
No, but I was thinking if if Omega Red put his finger in my butthole, I would say Omega Red put his finger in my butthole, and it's not just his finger. There's an appearance.
It happens.
That's what
There it is.
That's it. It came to me in a dream.
Yes. If Omega Red
A vision. Just saying.
penetrated you with one of his digits, it would be the first appearance of just
Like
There was sexual assault on you.
You guys know what I'm saying. That was the easiest way to describe it.
The worst part is we know what you're saying.
Mr. Hemmer knows.
Part.
Mr. Hemmer knows, and Mr. Lime knows what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I'm sorry, I gotta collect myself. I'm about to cry. It's so
I'm
funny.
sorry, gents. You guys know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there we go. Oh man, Al. Good night, everybody. This has been fun. All right.
You know, hey.
No, all good, all good. Enough said.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? All right. So those are some of our X-Men. If anyone has any questions, don't hesitate. And then we'll move. We have 3 Avengers books up here. One we have talked about many times before. I am very proud. A gentleman came in on I think it was Friday or Saturday, and he saw we had Secret Avengers 19 right there, right by the register. And he goes, "Wait a minute. Now, I don't fully know what's going on." And he's like, "Do you have more than one copy?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, we got a couple, but we're nearing the end of that, which is why, you know, like I've been pricing them at $20, high grade." And the guy goes, "I bought my copy for $50." I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, it's been in that 30, 50, and again, we're getting closer and closer to the Moon Knight show appearing in like 2 weeks or like a week and a half.
Looks great.
It does look great. Yes, I'm actually extremely excited. In fact, Oscar Isaac showed up at a UFC fight wearing a Moon Knight t-shirt. Yeah. So the guy goes, "Are these really $20?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "And you have more than just this one?" And I was like I said, I got a couple. He's like, "I'll take 2. I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Dude, I'd much rather buy 2 for the price I bought 1. Yeah. And he goes, "And I'm convinced by the time April rolls around, I'm gonna like triple my money." Now I don't know if that's true or not. That is not. I'm not condoning. Like, so I just wanted to throw it out there because we were getting close to being out of copies of Secret Avengers 19, which we have graded at a high grade, $20, and it is the first appearance of the white suit, business suit, and the white hoodless mask that will appear in the Moon Knight series. That is beyond confirmed. We've seen multiple images. There's a poster, all that kind of stuff. So just in case, I just wanted to throw this out there for anyone who's maybe looking for a copy. And a gentleman did applaud us for making them very affordable. So yeah, because he's from out of town and stuff like that. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's going to turn around and sell them for like $50 each. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not passing up this opportunity. Yeah, so it was cool. So yeah,
The new trailer looks.
there's an even newer one.
Yeah, it goes more to the disorder.
Oh, okay. In fact, I don't know. I was kind of encouraged, even though I'm not a huge fan of elevator pitches. They're more funny than ever, like Die Hard in a nursery school or stuff like that. But Kevin Feige or whatever they got, he referred to Moon Knight as Indiana Jones meets Fight Club, and I was like, sold.
Yep.
Mr. Lime, is that the X-Men issue you're looking for? That's $3.22. It's $4 if you want it.
Yeah, that's the one where we get the first mention of Onslaught.
Okay.
Yeah, because like Juggernaut, he's like, "Oh, he's coming," or something.
Onslaught's coming.
Yeah, is that what it says that at the end or something.
First verbal appearance of Onslaught.
Yeah. Hey, at this point, first cameo appearance, first time they're mentioned, first time they're viewed in shadow.
First time they fought.
Yeah, the first time that they defecate on, in the comic. It's like the Frank Zappa image, but it's like, Spider-Woman, and everyone's like, whoa!
He's going to grab that.
Oh, all right, cool.
Mr. McHale, we'll do the Supergirls. We got to take a quick break, and we'll do the Supergirls right after that.
Okay, real quick. Before the break, we're going to talk about the last Secret Avengers, then we'll do the Supergirls, okay?
Mr. Everett, you got your Secret Avengers.
Bye.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Yeah. Right, yeah, and they were like, "Oh, she did. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing?" Jason is having a little tinkle at the moment, so he'll be back. He's got tummy problems.
Based on the way we started, I'm just glad he's not doing it on screen.
Oh, there you go.
Hey-o!
Actually, yo, Kyle, you should check out our the Fat Jack's Instagram page. He sort of is sitting on a stool that looks like a My First Potty stool. You know, like the old ones where they put like a bucket under the stool and had a hole in it. And the look on his face definitely looks like he's having a little difficult.
Well, in the words of Wordman over here, I didn't want to know about Al's Russian invasion. So.
Dang.
I'm just trying to paint a picture. Just trying, you know.
All right, so real quick, let's talk about 2 Secret Avengers real fast, and then we'll move on to some of these Supergirls that we have here. All right, so nothing too crazy or anything. I have a great love for Rick Remender as a writer. He actually had a really good Marvel run, not for everybody's taste, but for me, I really enjoyed it. And one run that he did. Ed Brubaker originally started the Secret Avengers title. After Ed Brubaker left, Warren Ellis came on for a little bit. Did Nick Spencer do a couple during that period? It was like Nick Spencer and then Warren Ellis, or vice versa. But near the end of the series, Rick Remender came on, which was just a series that I loved. It tied a lot into his Uncanny X-Force storyline with like the children and the father and all this kind of really weird stuff. And at one point, the Secret Avengers end up in this in the world, which is also connected to some Hickman stuff. I don't know. I love all that crap. So at one point, there was a third Ant-Man. Robert Kirkman did a series called Irredeemable Ant-Man, which was this character, I think it was Eric O'Grady or something. You know, once again, being really mean to Irish dudes. You know, like we're all criminals and we're all just stealing, Ant-Man suits and stuff. Anyway, he was a crook. He stole an Ant-Man suit, and for a period of time, he was Ant-Man. Yeah. And Rick Remender added his character to his Secret Avengers. So you had Ant-Man. Well, they end up in this like world thing with a bunch of like cyborgs and everything like that. And Ant-Man gets flat out killed. I mean, he is just shivved, just dead. But he's brought back as a life model decoy, and he becomes the Black Ant. And for whatever reason, some corners of social media have decided that at some point the Black Ant is going to be. I don't know if that's true or not. I think it's just wishful thinking, obviously. So the prices on these books are not going to be indicative of anything. But at the same time, people are always looking for first appearances cheap, stuff that is pretty neat and weird. And plus, it gives me an opportunity to shout out Rick Remender, one of my favorite writers. So with that said, we have here 2 issues of Secret Avengers. Issue number 32. Oh, and the other thing was, the artist, Matteo Scalera. He worked on Rick Remender's Black Science. He did that Dead Body Road. I mean, Matteo Scalera, I think he's an Italian artist. I could be wrong. Pretty sure he's Italian. Either way, just an amazing artist. And so he did a lot of Rick Remender's Secret Avengers. So this here is issue 32. This is a high-grade copy at $5, and it is the first cameo appearance of the Black Ant.
It's such a weird cover, too.
Wait, like this specific cover?
You're zooming in to it's like a jet, and you're like, no, wait. This is what we want to talk about here. Let's zoom into that. It's a weird.
All right, just so we're clear, that's an Arthur Adams cover, so that's already cool. And Hawkeye is literally, he's like rabid. Like, why does he have so much? Do you think he's vomiting? But like they're going so fast, the vomit just sort of spills out of his mouth.
He's mad. That's what it is. It's anger.
Oh, he's
Like,
he's frothing at the mouth.
Yeah.
Because he's so mad. Because
it's a weird,
Black Widow. Yeah.
it's a weird cover. Right?
Honestly, this story. Did you ever read this story?
No.
Did you ever read the Remender? Dude, it's all out of print. There's one issue. It'll be difficult to find because it's when Flash Thompson becomes like Agent Venom and joins the Secret Avengers. That book's like a $30, $40 book. And I was very upset to find out we don't have a copy. No shock. Jason probably bought it a few years ago for $3. But anyway, but Remender's Secret Avengers run is awesome. And the great thing is, it's just like a weird sci-fi heist movie where like Hawkeye's little crew of Secret Avengers end up in this weird city of like life model decoys and cyborgs and stuff, and they are cut off from everybody. And it's a survival tale. It's awesome. Anyway, this is the first cameo appearance of the Black Ant. And then comes issue 33, the first full appearance of the Black Ant, and more importantly, and sticking with the theme of this show, the first cover appearance of the Black Ant, who does not melt in Dr. Doom's hand. Good for him.
It's a 1-on-1. All right.
Now this is a high grade copy at $6. All right, so there we go. Those are our 2 issues of Secret Avengers, 32, first cameo appearance, and 33, first full appearance of the brought back to life as a life model decoy, Eric O'Grady, the Irish equivalent of
Beatles.
Do you need both or just one? Just 33?
Oh, 33.
Yeah. I figured that's a nice cover and everything. That's cool. So yeah, so Black Ant. There you go. Oh, and someone's got. All right, nice.
Now, Mr. Ebner,
Explain the cover.
Mr. Xenon already claimed number 33, so you still want 32 because you're claiming them both. But just let me know. No problem.
Yeah, it's all good. I understand.
Thank you. Thank you both anyway.
Either way, man, we really appreciate it. Okay, and so now, all right, every now and again, there are things that aren't crazy, aren't blowing up the market or anything of that nature, and yet I can't help myself, but if not sell them, at least show them off. As anyone who has watched the show before, especially on the Experience, we have a little opening that has my beloved puppy, and so I've always had a fondness for Krypto. And more importantly, with the recent Tom King Supergirl series, I really love like Supergirl's relationship with Krypto and everything like that. And so what I have here is a bunch of dog appreciation variant covers by Amanda Connor of Supergirl with her best friend. Now, there's really, as far as I'm aware, nothing super key in terms of in the books themselves. But again, these are just beautiful covers. I just love to show off. This is Supergirl number 21. This is a high-grade copy at $5. That is Amanda Connor. The next 4 issues are all going to be Connor. But again, I just love, I don't know, it just warms my heart. And then here is issue number 22. Supergirl playing fetch with Krypto in space. Here we go. Issue 25. Okay, that's why it's $1 more, because actually the original issue was actually $1 more than the regular ones. But there's another Amanda Connor with Supergirl hanging out with her beloved Krypto. High grade, $6. And then little kind of like classic throwback, sort of the stars and, just the stars, whatever. Supergirl number 29. Another Amanda Connor, Supergirl hanging out with her puppy. High grade, $5. And then no more Krypto, but and again, this is an artist that's pretty big. I'm pretty sure we talked about him last week even. That is Stanley Artgerm Lau. Yeah, that's right. There was a Catwoman. We had a Catwoman's Artgerm. He's just like Peach Momoko. There's a bunch of them. There's a lot of like artists who, if they're on a variant cover, that variant cover immediately has value. Artgerm is very much akin to that, or in that class. So here is a beautiful Artgerm variant cover of Supergirl. This is issue number 28. This is a high grade copy at $5. And then issue number 23. Now, these were all part of, I think, the 52 era Supergirl or the right before the Rebirth. This one, on the other hand, is part of the Rebirth era of the DC Comics. This is Supergirl number 23. Again, Art Germ variant, high grade, $6. All right. Yes.
Mr. McHale's going to take them all. Mr. McHale, since you claimed them before you finished, if you don't want all the issues, just let us know which ones you don't want.
Okay. So we're going to do the 4 cryptos and the 2 art germs? Okay. Yeah. So
take them all.
All right. So just let us. And this one's kind of cool. I don't know if it's a hollow foil, but it has this weird. It's whatever it is. Yeah, hollow foil or something. Yeah. If you let us know. It's kind of a foil cover, but not exactly. It's like weird. It's like the new version of foil covers.
Guys, it's shiny.
It's shiny. Thank you, Jason. I always knew there was a reason why you were here.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
It's a cool cover. I like that cover.
You really add a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This whole process.
I had nothing. I take everything away.
It's shiny.
When I'm gone, it's addition by subtraction. It's great.
Hey, I gotta be honest. When you're gone, Al and I get closer to that, murder. That.
Like, hey, Omega Red was there.
Yeah. I'll go in the next week and there's some murder scene.
Yeah, we get a little punchy sometimes when you're not around. You really keep us together.
I think until about 3:30, we don't actually say anything to each other in the shop. It's just dead ass quiet in here.
Yeah.
Until about 3:30, and I'm like, "How's your week?"
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Then we have to kind of wake up.
It's like, "Oh yeah, chill."
Well, hey, it's better
We're
than
friends again.
It's better than the infamous Saturdays where we would
go to 5:45.
Yeah. It'd be almost 9 hours and we haven't spoken to each other. Speaking of a weird sort of foil cover, which is a throwback to the 90s, let's talk about 3 90s books. First up is the fabulous first issue of Venom Funeral Pyre #1. This is the miniseries where Venom and Punisher team up to do I don't know what. Probably be role models. That's right. Let's call this the role model issue. Because if there were 2 of the greatest role models for a true moral and ethical citizen, it is definitely Venom and the Punisher. Good stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're going to get together and kind of Voltron it and be like Venisher or Penum or something, be like Benifer was, like a real power couple,
That would be badass.
Right?
That
would be kind of cool. In fact, I guess a version of that would have been Agent Venom because he was Venom with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Oh, or even better, it'd be Venom. But he'd have a spider skull symbol, and then Bushwhacker, he would grow guns. Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of fun. Oh, good stuff. Where's the what if issue? Pay us, Marvel. Anyway,
you're first.
Yeah.
Johnny Cates is like, this stuff's great.
These guys are amazing. Good thing I stumbled on these guys. This is a high grade.
Let's see him on the
high grade copy, $10. And then another high grade copy and $10. Is Web of Spider-Man #90, not infamous, that's not the right word for it, the famous or the well-remembered hologram anniversary issues, because back in 1992, which now is it's 30 years ago. Holy shit.
That straight up just looks like a piece of wood.
I know, right?
There's no
I promise you it's there.
I promise.
And it's still sealed, all that kind of stuff. Spider-Man haunted by his past and menaced by one of his first and greatest villains. Who do you think it is? Don't worry, I don't know either. Anyway, it's a high-grade copy at $10. And
if it's Web, it's probably the Rocket League.
Ooh, good one.
Big wheel.
Big wheel. All right, okay. Big wheel. That's a good one.
When is Miss Parker going to be back? It's a chat question.
Oh, I don't know. I should just probably bring her, even though there's no reason. Just bring her, just to have her. I have to set it up. The whole thing would have to be different because it'd have to be lower so she could be on us. Because she was here. What was that? A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fine. She just wasn't on camera.
No. I just had to pick her up, and everyone got to see her butt. Which is not as nice as J-Lo butt tattoo on his butt.
I'm working it out. It's all right. It's coming along.
Speaking of a chat question, let's throw this out there because we were kind of talking about this before the local show. And again, I'm not going to go on a Jared Leto rant. All right, I'm just going to throw that out there right now. You've heard me do it way too much. So instead, chat, is anybody interested in the new Morbius movie? Because we are, 2 weeks away from it coming out? It's like April Fool's Day, I think.
You might be right.
Wouldn't that be the greatest April Fool's? Where they spent a ton of money to make a trailer.
And it's not
They pushed it off with the whole idea that they were like, when's the next Friday that's an April Fool's? And they're like, it isn't until 2022. And they're like, fine. Thank God for the pandemic, because we can excuse why we can't release it.
Because the movie's not coming out.
Right. Or it'd be the best if the whole movie is just like you see the Morbius trailer again, and then it's just 2 hours of Jared Leto's shitty band, 30 Seconds from Mars.
I used to just
wake up on
This conspiracy theory is what I actually believe is happening. I'm full on Morbius Anon or whatever.
I'm convinced it's not a real movie. I just kind of am.
I like them.
You like too?
36 Mars.
Oh God.
I'm not familiar.
Oh my.
I know of them.
Dude, I'm now adding it to the list of things that I can't help but make fun of you for. Oh, stop it.
To add it to the list? You got a list?
Yeah, I got a list, man.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I got a list.
Monster Squad.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope.
Listen, so you know, Morbius looks horrible.
Well, how about this? Before you throw out absolute statements, let us qualify by saying, if you are looking forward to the Morbius movie, I hope it's enjoyable. Maybe through chat, word of mouth, they come back and tell us, yo, guys, you are misjudging a great film.
Is anybody in the chat interested in? I feel like Gary Klein would be the one, if anybody, who would be going for it. Because I don't know.
Gary, do you like
Blade and all? I feel like it's the same universe.
Unless Blade killed Morbius, then I think Gary would be really into that movie.
For me, Blade was a totally different. Blade was a fun rom. Fun romp through.
All right, time out.
Yeah.
Did you say a fun rom?
I lost my train of thought in the middle of my sentence.
Because
it isn't a rom.
Because if Rom showed up in the Morbius movie, I would call it the greatest film ever. Okay? Could you imagine if Rom just shows up and goes, "Screw you, Jared Leto," and shoots him with that weird gun? Oh my God! And that's the death of Jared Leto. Rom killed him.
And how bad is this movie now? Tell me.
Actually, that movie's amazing. Oh, if Rom shows up in Morbius, one of the greatest of all time. All right, that is a long walk off a $3 pier, because really all I wanted to do was set up a beautiful Bill Sienkiewicz cover for Midnight Suns Unlimited, issue number 2, Morbius the Living Vampire in Bloodbath. You got a Morbius story, you got a Blade story, a Darkhold story, a Night Stalker story, but more importantly, this is a very fine copy, but more importantly, $3. That's a gorgeous Bill Sienkiewicz cover. That's all. And anytime I get an opportunity to show off Bill Sienkiewicz covers, I'm going to do it. So if anyone's interested, later in this show, we're going to show off Dazzler comics. All right, so there we go. So a little bit of 90s. We had some fun there. Oh, wait, no. Let's not walk away from the 90s quite yet. Because how can you talk about the 90s without having hard case, holographic, limited edition, #1, where he is fighting a xenomorph? All right, most of you are probably not going to be able to see because it's all weird. This is a very rare book, actually. Nah, still can't see it. All right, but I'm not.
See the outline of the.
Well, because he's this weird sort of 3-dimensional sculpt, while the alien is 2-dimensional. But I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Sorry.
I straight up can't see the alien.
Right? No. It's tough. So I'm sorry no one can see it. But this is a very fine copy at $10. Hard case. Does anyone remember that from Ultraverse? Here. Look at it. Like, that's an alien, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, not even. How did they get away with that?
Wait.
What was the book where he was holding the car up? It was done insane. And it was like an homage.
There we go.
Action number 1.
I don't know.
It was one of these. It was like an Ultraverse, but it was
that
a while back.
Dude, I can't see.
Can you guys see it?
No, of course they can't. This is when you step on camera? Look,
What
this
else
is the hill you want to die on?
It is.
Yeah, right.
I love these covers.
Out of all the moments you could have stepped up,
Like, no, finally.
this is your moment. This is
Jason, everybody.
man, this is.
You got Toxic Avenger number 1.
I do have Toxic Avenger number 1, the first appearance of Toxic Avenger in comic books, written by none other than Doug Munch from 1991. Is this 91? There's no date. Oh yeah, 91. I was right. Cool. This is a high grade copy at $25, and this is a book that, yes, keeps going up in value because we are getting closer and closer to a new Toxic Avenger movie starring Peter Dinklage of all people. So yes, Toxic Avenger number 1, high grade, $25.
Interesting.
Hey man, again, I'm
Go
willing
for it.
I'm
Go
willing
for
to give it a try. You know.
Go for it.
All right, so okay. So I recently got an email. He's probably not watching. Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
To JT976. I don't know who you are, but you know the process for claiming books. So if you're not a local customer, please just email us at the FJCC show, and we'll go from there. If you're a local customer, give me a call, shout your name out if you don't want to put it in the chat, just so I know what to put it up.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
But really, thank you. I think that's the last copy we have.
Up top,
Because the original again, we don't have the luxury to sit on books. You know what I mean? So when we started doing the show, I think we had 3 copies. That's the third one. And the first 2, I think we sold for like $10.
Did Henry end up grabbing one? I know he wanted one.
Yeah, he grabbed it.
We got it. Okay.
Yeah. With issue number 2, they were fun, you know. And Sam Keith drew the cover for Toxic Crusaders number 1. So fun stuff. Thank you, everybody. All right. So where's my train of thought? Oh yeah, I got an email from someone who doesn't watch us anymore. But it's okay. It's okay because you know I can be offensive. I can be problematic. Yeah.
I'm a jerk.
Well, no. And again.
Like throwing shade.
No, not throwing shade. Because this is one of the times where I got an email and it actually turned out to be informative.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh wait.
You probably got the email.
I got an email too.
And you probably ignored
I
it.
ignored it because it's been a while since I got it.
Right. But that's why I looked at it.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while. And I went, okay, if I'm not getting one every day, then if I get one once every 2 months, I'm going to sit here and go, all right, let me take a look. All right, so I imagine most of you are aware that right now, Brian Michael Bendis and DC Comics are in the midst of a storyline where they're going to kill off the Justice League. All right, so a couple things came from that. The first was I was not aware that they're trying to time Justice League 75, which is the issue where they, I guess, die. It's the final part of the death of the Justice League storyline. And I'm pretty sure it's like a few weeks or a couple months away from being the perfect 30th anniversary from the release of Superman number 75, which is more widely known as the issue where Superman dies. So they're really trying to sync that up. So obviously, I clicked on this link I got from this email, and I checked out an article. Let me look at this. And so Joshua Williams, who is one of the main writers with Bendis, Bendis is setting it up. And then I think Williams is going to run with the Dark Crisis storyline or something along those lines.
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of the Flash.
He's doing like World's Finest, maybe.
Yeah. It's, isn't that Mark Waid? Yeah, it's Mark Waid.
Mark Waid's doing. No, he was doing the Batman Superman series.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, with the really cool Jay Lee art and stuff like that. Okay, all right. So he recently did an interview where he was talking about sort of the inspiration and a couple little like past nuggets where he took a lot of his ideas that he wants to kind of sort of extrapolate and expand upon during the Dark Crisis. And one of the main characters, and actually, again, this is why I'm applauding the email, not throwing shade, because I actually learned something. So I had actually forgotten this. When Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, the character of Pariah was this like scientist or something who was very arrogant and wanted to like learn about something. I'm flaking on it, but his actions led to the crisis. Okay, and then when the Anti-Monitor was born, he took the Pariah, somebody punished Pariah, so he was lost in limbo or in like a vacuum for 1,000 years with no sensory input or anything, which, as Joshua Williams said, would probably drive a character insane. So the Anti-Monitor plucks Pariah out of this weird void or what have you, and then forces him to have to view all of these worlds that are dying during the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So that was one aspect, but Pariah never really got fully like his actions never got really what's the word I'm looking for? Or not really punished or really like followed through on who he was as a character and what a trauma like that would be like. And at one point in the late 80s, they had the War of the Gods storyline. And Pariah popped up again. And there was a very specific issue that Joshua Williams kept talking about as being key to his upcoming Dark Crisis story. So, of course, I immediately ran back to the shop, looked if we had a copy. We did. It really has no value, but who knows? Maybe it'll be a key. Maybe it'll just be a fun little story to read if you're really interested in the Dark Crisis storyline and what's going on with the death of Justice League. Again, Joshua Williams name-checked this issue multiple times, and that issue is The New Titans from 1991, issue number 81, The Return of Pariah. This is a very fine plus copy at only $4, and that's all I got. It's been a while since I've read this issue, but I try to keep up with what people are talking about and everything like that. And in certain circles, after that article, this issue has become one that people are discussing. So with that said, I was able to find one copy, and I would at least acknowledge that to the audience, especially if you're not aware of the fact that DC is about to kill off the Justice League. And again, if you really think the Justice League is going to stay dead, as the old joke goes, I'm pretty sure I got a bridge I can sell you. So
They're like, that's it. We're gonna stop publishing.
I would be so amazed. Like I would like.
They're just like, we're just gonna do media and no comic book.
Well, they try that.
Well, sometimes it feels really close like they're gonna do it.
Mr. Ebner, you got your Titans. Mr. McHale, you want the Midnight Suns and the hard case with Alien on cover. Just clarify the chat. I don't want you getting something you didn't ask for.
That display's so wonderful.
Right. So how about this, Kyle? It's 7, so let's do a break. And just the gentleman Al just mentioned, just confirm everything's good, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody, to Fat Jack's Comicrypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectibles.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Hey, I'm Joe Pruitt. I'm the publisher and /CEO of Aftershock Comics, and you're watching The Experience.
Hurry! No! Hurry! Oh no! Oh my god! I'm not gonna be able to make it. Oh, what am I gonna buy?
Oh, I ran out of room.
Sorry for the short break. My pizza was getting cold.
I couldn't get all my Dazzler comics out, Kyle. Everyone's waiting for Dazzler.
Real quick, anybody in the chat, and this is open to you too also, I was told that Gary Busey was supposed to be in the original Star Wars with Yaphet Kotto as Han Solo. Has anybody else heard that? Yes or no? That's all I need. If it's true, that's amazing. If not,
no.
I'm suspecting if not. No.
I'm going to go no.
It was Gary Busey as Luke
Skywalker.
And Yaphet Kotto as Han Solo.
No.
Right? That would be that. How would that not be amazing?
Though, in all fairness, Mark Hamill and Gary Busey were both in motorcycle accidents.
And one came out better than the other.
Yes.
Amazing.
In fact, most big Star Wars fans probably already know this little anecdote. But that is the motorcycle accident that occurred before the filming of Empire Strikes Back is why George Lucas wrote in, or, built in the whole thing of Luke being hurt by the snow monster. And that's where he gets his scar. Yes. Because they were like, oh no, makeup won't make that go away. We need to explain why Luke now has a scar. And it was because Mark Hamill, probably hanging out with Carrie Fisher and her coke finger too much, had a motorcycle accident. Yes.
And Gary Line clips.
I believe it. If he says it.
Kotto turned down a role.
No way, Gary, that's
no,
real.
Sorry.
Lando. That makes a lot more sense because I'm pretty sure George Lucas was forced to put at least one person who wasn't white.
Mr. Mack, if you're watching, you were incorrect. Just so you know.
Good times.
No to Gary Busey is no.
All right.
That would be amazing.
All right. So
would not.
There's Jake Busey playing him in the new Star Wars.
Could you imagine? It's like Luke is a teenager and it's Gary Busey. No, actually, for anyone who watched the Obi-Wan trailer, imagine that 8-year-old kid that's in the trailer. Imagine that's Gary Busey dressed like an 8-year-old kid.
Would that be 100 times better?
And they never say anything. And he's not even credited. People on social media are like, oh my God, why is Jake Busey in Star Wars? And they're like, what are you talking about? It's an 8-year-old actor. They're like, no, that's Jake Busey. He's 8 feet tall. And I mean, he's got a bowl cut, a little Luke's bowl cut. God, man.
So, according to Mark Hamill, he almost wasn't Luke Skywalker because he was in a terrible Western with Gary Busey.
Really?
It lasted 6 episodes and got creamed by Rockford Files that went 6 seasons.
Because Rockford Files is the greatest show that was ever created by man.
And here's one for you.
That's it.
Robert Englund was the one to tell George Lucas about Mark Hamill.
Robert Englund was?
Yes.
What would he have been in at that time?
Just Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, that was Nightmare on Elm Street was 83.
No, he was. I think he was just a bit actor. Like,
so he was just like a background character actor.
But Mark Hamill would crash on his couch in between shooting episodes of this Western, and he knew George Lucas from something else. And was like, you should talk to this kid.
Oh, interesting.
So Hollywood's a small world, man.
I just had an epiphany. I'm pretty sure Robert Englund, Mark Hamill were in Sylvester Stallone's first movie, which I'm pretty sure was a porn. Yeah. No? Then he's Glass Bottom Boat?
That's Sylvester Stallone. His brother.
Oh, you mean the greatest actor and singer of all time, Frank Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone's first movie is bananas.
The Woody Allen movie?
Yeah, he's a thug on the train.
For real?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
is that like the Jeff Goldblum in Death Wish?
Yeah, it's not like a speaking role. No, because Jeff Goldblum says things. Like he's like the leader.
No, oh my God! One of my favorite uncredited first cameo is The Long Goodbye. Elliot Gould, Robert Altman, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the muscle dude in the velour bikini bottoms tank top. Really? Yeah. He's in the scene where Elliot Gould goes to I think is it the crime boss or is it the book? It doesn't matter. But there's a scene where he goes to this LA beach, not mansion, but a beautiful beach house. And there's a bunch of thugs. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is the dude sitting there, and he's not wearing any underwear. It's very obvious. In his little satin bikini bottoms or what have you. Yeah, and he's uncredited, and that's pre. Was it Adventures of Hercules in New York? Yeah. That's Schwarzenegger. Long Goodbye. Robert, one of the all-time greatest films. I'm pretty sure Gary would probably agree with me. That's amazing. If you've never seen,
don't agree with him yet, Mr. Leonard. I gotta get that horn right.
We'll wait for it.
Oh, but that is, and I love Altman. Altman's done a lot of wonderful films, but that might be one of my. I mean, it's just the existential, the whole idea that all Elliot Gould is doing is trying to find cat food for his cat. I mean, it's a neo-noir. Again, we're trying to sell some comic books, but you don't need me, though I'm going to be honest with you.
You have some VHS tapes in back.
I'll be real straight with you. There are times where I would love to just have comics standing there and just be like, yeah, if you're interested in any of this, please ask and buy. And then I will just literally stand here and we'll just talk about movies.
Isn't that the experience?
Yeah, that's hanging out at a comic book shop.
You got Conan #1 by any chance? No? Oh, shoot.
Nah. No Conan #1. It happens. It's okay. Hold on. Let me go find my Edge of Spider-Verse #2 that I'm hiding. All right.
At least a Kroll, for God's sake.
Yeah, no. All right. Let me pull myself back here. So we did those X. Oh, okay. Let's quickly do this row up here. First up, kind of a sort of an epilogue to the theme we had last week, even though most of those books were sold before the show started. But this is specifically about DC Marvel crossovers, and we were fortunate to find one that is, I think, a little bit more obscure than people realize. This was from the mid-'90s. I believe DJ Chichester, who was writing Daredevil at the time, and Scott McDaniel, who was illustrating Daredevil at the time. No. He had just moved over to Nightwing. But at the time when Chichester was writing Daredevil, McDaniel was doing a lot of the art. That was that Fall from Grace storyline, the return of Elektra. Daredevil got stupid armor for a little bit. Thankfully, that suit's never come back. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Why would a dude who's he's got these weird armor plating shoulder blades and stuff. I will to this day never understand that armor. But that Fall from Grace cover was really cool.
Uh-oh. What?
All right. Now we just got Echo.
Echo. We'll figure that out.
Anyway, this was Daredevil and Batman, one shot, also referred to as Eye for an Eye. This was during the mid-90s when Marvel and DC got over their baloney. Look, Kyle, I didn't say, the S word. And they put out a bunch of new, intercompany crossovers that they hadn't done in, at that point, 15, 20 years. And this was also a lead up to the DC versus Marvel event with the amalgam comics and all that kind of stuff. So this is Daredevil and Batman, a high grade copy at $8. And speaking of Daredevil, now these next 3 issues are all signed by John Romita Jr. Let me just not bury the lead. All 3 of these books are signed by John Romita Jr. Don't worry. John drew all 3 issues, so it wasn't like Stan Lee signing a Batman issue. So I imagine most of you, if you've read it, probably, if not a fan, have some positive feelings about Frank Miller's Daredevil run. The character was a decent character prior to Frank Miller, but Frank Miller is really what kind of brought Daredevil to his prime. And when most people think of Daredevil lately, especially if the character, most of your relationship is built out of the TV show that is now on Disney Plus, who thankfully now sponsors us. Did you hear that, guys? Disney Plus now sponsors us. It's awesome. I'm just raking in that Disney money.
I wear a large hoodie.
So obviously everything in regards to the character of Daredevil, the ripple effect, the echo, the seismic change that Frank Miller did to the character, and let's be honest, the art form. He introduced a lot of new concepts that are now, prevalent throughout comic book storytelling in his original Daredevil run. Well, about 10 to 12 years after the last time he had written the Daredevil character, he came back to Marvel for a period of time, and he did a 5-issue miniseries where he took all of the sort of elements that he introduced to Daredevil's origin. Obviously, anything to do with Elektra, a lot of his relationship with Stick. He built out a lot. In fact, when most people think of Daredevil's origin, it is not the Stan Lee stuff or anything like that. It's the Frank Miller stuff. And the miniseries that really kind of encapsulated all of that was Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, which at the time that this came out, if you didn't pick up these issues, you were never going to find them. They sold out. It was just, people were so excited that Frank Miller was coming back to the character. And also, John Romita Jr., who had left the Daredevil book, and you've probably heard me say many times, one of my favorite periods of Daredevil was the Ann Nesenti, John Romita Jr. Late 80s run. So you took a writer that I loved, you took an artist that I loved, who both kind of defined a character that I loved, and they came back for a miniseries, and it was a huge big deal, at least for this idiot. So we have up here issue 1 and 2. But outside of the hard sale or the personal story, they have these particular issues have a little bit of value normally. But most of the value is also predicated on the fact that John Romita Jr. signed them. So here we are. This is issue number 1 of Daredevil, Man Without Fear by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr., signed by JR, right there. High grade copy, $15. And then issue 2, probably my favorite of this miniseries, because this is the issue where Frank Miller really expands on the history that Matt and Elektra have with one another. This is the issue that first introduces that they had a relationship back in college. This is the issue that introduces what actually happened to her father. In terms of anyone who loves Elektra, this issue is essential to Elektra's character history. So Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 2, high grade copy, $15, signed by JR. And then at one point, in the 90s, you got John Romita Jr. coming back to the X-Men. And this is, and again, it's the 90s, so there's your little holofoil as well. This is Uncanny X-Men 300, signed by JR. You also get this limited treasure edition sort of wrap thing. You get a bunch of legal press and all that kind of stuff. This was, I think this was sold as, this was a thing where he did a series, a numbered series. Oh, yeah, this is 7,073 out of 13,100. Where do you think they got that number from? Why 13,100? Why not just 13,000 or 10,000? Go up to 15,000.
It was probably print to order.
You think it's print to order?
How many do you want? All right, that's coming.
All right, pick it. There it is.
Or it's just John Romita was just I can only do 13.99. Like, can you just do one extra so we can have a round number?
Where he's like, I'm done. And they're like, there it is.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
Jason, that's the one.
Some guys go 1, 2.
All right.
Oh, he's done, guys.
That's the next. I enjoy that explanation. Also, this issue is kind of key. First, it is the first appearance of a character by the name of Amanda Vogt, a character that Professor X slept with and abandoned, like pretty much every woman Professor X ever was intimately involved with. But more importantly, this is the issue that introduces mutant AIDS. Do you know what I'm talking about?
AIDS.
The legacy virus.
Oh,
This is the first
mention of the legacy virus?
Yeah. No, it's called a first appearance.
Do you see it like in the microscope? You
Yeah.
see the virus?
Where's the
Zoom
cover?
in on the page?
Is it
you're
the
like,
first
oh,
cover
there's the
experience?
microscope. You gotta take a look at it.
Actually, it is a first cover appearance because I'm pretty sure Wolverine has it.
Well, there it is.
Was that Dynamic Forces? Like, is it a...
No, it's a Marvel Entertainment Group. Yeah, limited treasure edition, division of League Tenant Entertainment.
I wonder if like you ordered it at the back of the Marvel.
Yeah, maybe something. I actually don't fully know. But yeah, it comes with it. Don't worry, that weird black thing is not part of the cover. It's just.
Is it part of it?
It is not. No.
It's newsstand, but you can't see because of that black tape.
Oh yeah, it's definitely newsstand, so you should definitely buy it. Anyway, this is a high grade copy at $15.
You know, how come you for the
No, you come to be dehumanized with your little toilet.
Hey Kyle, what is it?
I mean,
what does a John Romita Jr. signature go for? If not 15, what does he charge? Does he charge? He doesn't.
If you can find him at a convention, he's charging between $25 and $40, depending on the convention.
Okay, Kyle, how much does Rob Liefeld charge for a signature?
That guy.
$100 just to look up from whatever else he's doing.
Awesome. Then anyone who doesn't buy it, the next thing that I'm going to show is a fool.
Wait, he seriously charges $100 for a signature?
No, I'm saying that Rob Liefeld is the type of person that charges you to look at you.
Like,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, like I'm not going to talk to you until you at least slide over,
Right.
$10.
$5 for a raffle ticket to get online, and then you got to buy it.
Yeah, could you imagine $10 to get in line? Well, don't worry, because you could buy Rob Liefeld's signature for only $6, connected to his two greatest creations, Youngblood and X-Force. Dun 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 dun!
Signed by the master.
Signed. A man who barely writes an R and then scribbles until he sort of just
gives up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
That'd be like saying Rob instead of Rob. You got tired of that last letter.
It's so funny. I didn't know how to lose it. I was like, did he just say what I thought he said? Did he just say Rom? Man, I totally rommed through it.
That word's too long. I get tired.
It's Rob Liefeld.
My lips can't go. But here you go. The first and only crossover between Youngblood and X-Force. I'm pretty sure. Is his name Shaft? What was this idiot's name?
Yeah, I think it was. Something.
Is it Shaft? Well, don't worry, everybody, because Badrock and Wolverine make out. You find out that Shaft is Cable's bastard child. Cable says a lot of really awkward things about abortion and how he should have had his.
Stop. Liefeld's got opinions.
Okay, either way, high grade copy, $6, and it has Rob Liefeld's signature. I was going somewhere, but it's probably better that you pulled me back.
Yeah, there's a band called Youngblood. They call it first.
Really? Interesting. Is it like Redbone?
All right, it's Badrock. Sentinel Shafts. Wait, no,
It's a song title.
It's Shaft.
It is Shaft? He actually named a character who shoots bows and arrow Shaft. And he probably said that he never saw the movie Shaft. He doesn't even know who Richard Roundtree is. He's like, my favorite Shaft movie of all time is the one with his son.
What? That wasn't his son.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
Sam Jackson?
Yeah, it wasn't a reboot. It ended up being his son.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Richard Roundtree shows up and he goes, hey, son, how you doing? Do you really like being known as Shaft? Do you get as laid as often as I used to? And Samuel Jackson's like, a lot more, buddy. He's like, I was in Pulp Fiction. And Richard Roundtree was like, I was in
Shaft, dummy.
Yeah, you're yeah. It's kind of that's all that matters.
Seems like I'm Shaft.
I'm Shaft. I win. Yeah, I win.
I win. That's it. What?
By the way, when's the last time you watched Dolomite? That movie. Dolomite's great. That movie rocks. That movie is so good. I really liked. Did you guys see? What was the Eddie Murphy? My Name Is Dolomite.
Yes.
That actually turned out to be really good.
Who was straight in that? Wade.
You mean Wesley Snipes? Yeah. He's got a name.
He has.
He literally went to jail for tax invasion.
He needs to be in more movies.
Just so we're clear. I think people only go to jail for tax evasion if you're not a straight white man.
Well,
the only people I know who go to jail for tax evasion are women, black men or women, gay men. It never seems to be white dudes, especially the ones who run for president. I don't get it. I just
every mobster ever.
Yeah, every mobster ever.
Because they can never get them on the good stuff. They got to get them on the tax fraud.
Yeah, Rico. You literally create new laws just to be able to catch them.
Gary Line, you're wrong. He's not his son. That's ridiculous. No.
Gary, thank you.
I need some kind of horn that you two are both wrong at saying.
Nice. All right, sticking around with the 90s, let's talk about the Spawn issues that we have up here. I will take the fact that no one asked about them means that there's no interest in them, but it doesn't matter because I'm still going to talk about them. All right, so let me get my notes because there are some first appearances that occur in these. So let me just make sure I am correct. All right, so first up, what's so funny? When we get to issue number 5, I was going to be like, I should bring up this and bring up that. And then I said to myself, that might be just a teeny bit too dark. And you'll know what I mean when I get to issue number 5, an epic first appearance. But first, Spawn number 2. I'm pretty sure Tom McFarlane thought he was drawing Batman. He's got tombstones and bats. What's wrong?
What is this Shaft movie?
Dude, I don't know how you don't.
From 2019?
Yes!
I thought you were talking about the one from like 20 years ago. When the hell did this come out?
No, because the Samuel Jackson one was actually kind of a remake.
That was just a straight, like Richard Roundtree's in it.
Right.
Just a throwback to
And the
Shaft.
only thing that was really good about that movie, Gary, I don't know if you would agree with me, Jeffrey Wright, who's a great actor in everything. He was a recent commissioner, or not commissioner, but
he was the drug dealer.
He was the drug dealer, and he was scary. Yes, dude, he was.
Shit. No, that was a great movie.
Jeffrey Wright was that John Singleton?
John Singleton.
Did
Christian Bale is the.
Oh my God!
He's the asshole that kills Mekhi Phifer.
Yes, I totally forgot. But thank you, Gary. I was thinking of the movie.
I had no idea this existed. I apologize for wasting everybody's time.
The Son of Shaft. They should have just called it Son of Shaft. And it could have been like that Godzilla movie, Son of Godzilla, where Godzilla and his son do high fives.
Tap him on the head.
What is that? What is going on? When did Godzilla learn what a high five was?
It's. Oh, you weren't the.
Yeah, we're selling comics. What?
It's Son of Godzilla shrinks.
Oh, somebody's grabbing the light bulb. All right. Cool. Oh, by the way, we cannot confirm that is his signature, but we know it's his signature. Just throwing it out there. Which is why
Shaft looks pissed.
Shaft looks really pissed. Probably. No, I'm not going to go there. That's too much satire. You got to be careful about racial satire.
Next week.
Because some people aren't very complicated thinkers. Here we go. Spawn number 2. High grade copy at $20. First appearance of the Clown, a.k.a. the Violator. Once upon a time, played by the Freak, John Leguizamo.
That was a good movie.
The Freak?
No, Spawn.
The Pest. That's right, the Pest. I'm just going to ignore what you just said. I'm just going to move forward.
You like
if you made the argument for the Pest, at least I would give you credit for being interesting.
I was making an argument for Spawn.
I was making an argument for Spawn.
So get down off your horse, dude.
Really?
Dude, what?
It's a dumb, bad movie.
The only good thing about that movie is the soundtrack was fun. Soundtrack was good.
I don't even remember the soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack was one of those mashup albums where they took hip-hop artists and heavy metal acts at the time.
Like Judgment.
Yeah, it was akin to that. It was akin to that. Yeah, so you got that's the one where you got Sneaker Pimps with Marilyn Manson where they hated each other. That's the one where you got Rage Against the Machine and was it Slayer? Or was it Tom Morello and Megadeth?
Crystal Method and
oh yeah, who did Crystal Method do it with? Oh, it's really if you've never
that's the big song in like the Matrix and everything.
Yeah. But if you've never heard the Spawn soundtrack, I don't recommend watching the Spawn movie. You'd be better off just watching the animated series, which was actually good.
Good show.
Speaking of Keith David, was he the voice? Is he Spawn?
He's Spawn. Yeah, he's the voice of Spawn. Yeah. Is Michael J. White connected? He was Al Simmons as Spawn. Yeah.
Oh, in the show too?
Michael J. White?
No. In the movie.
In the movie.
Keith David was the voice.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's the voice of the movie.
In the anime. The good thing.
Yeah.
Not what Jason likes.
Michael J. White is Spawn in the movie.
Yeah.
Keith
David is
Spawn in
HBO.
Yes. The good Spawn.
Listen, they're both good.
All right. Spawn number 4. The first cover appearance of the Violator, keeping with the theme of the night. But don't worry, it still has the Image number 0 coupon, the book that if you ruined your comic to cut the coupon out to mail away, you are probably still waiting 30 years later for your Image number 0. Is there? Let's be honest.
I really want to find it.
There are a couple things. No, there are a couple things in regards to the early years of Image that have to be some of the greatest, just absurd jokes of the industry. Like stuff that, like,
hey, sorry guys.
Like, hey man, man, this is almost as bad, or this. Like it's like this wait is almost as bad as my wait for Image 0 to finally come out. Or where's my Image 25th anniversary hardcover that they just ridiculous.
I'm finishing the Infinite.
Oh yeah. I'm still waiting for Deathmate number 5 or Deathmate Purple or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is a very fine year minus, primarily because there's 1, 2 little stress on the spine. Which is why instead of a $20, $25 book, it is valued at $16.
My book is far more beautiful.
And now we get to Spawn number 5. All right, so this is a high-grade copy, and I made this price. This is actually a little bit more valuable for this, but I gave it a $13, which is usually indicative of me making a point. Who do you think his first appearance is in this issue?
Michael J. White. Oh, wait. What?
Close. I'll give you a hint. His first cover appearance is not this issue.
Does he sell ice cream?
He does. But he's got a different occupation.
Is it questionable what he does?
No, it's not questionable. It's horrific.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a piece of trash.
Family show.
I believe that human beings are very complex, and I don't like a lot of black and white dualistic thinking, but F this character.
So is this not a book you should buy if you're like, hey, I like books, and I'm going to...
I'll say this. You'll probably feel more comfortable buying the first appearance of White Dragon than you'll find buying this dude's first appearance. It is the first appearance of the child rapist and murderer Billy Kincaid, the ice cream man himself. But
no judgment if you claim it.
On a lighter note,
still a comic book.
Cerebus has a cameo as a stuffed animal. And actually, in terms of a personal anecdote, this is the issue. I don't know how old I would have been. This would have been 92? 92, okay. So I probably was like 12 or 13. So my mother was tired of my shit. And I would leave comic books like all over the place. Because I was just, just leave them all over the place. So my mother one day decided that screw my son. He's an asshole. Excuse me. Sorry, Kyle. He's a jerk. And so she gathered up every comic book that was lying on the floor, on a table, anywhere. And she threw them all out into a trash can that was full of butter. And the one book that got destroyed more than any other was this issue. And if you've never seen what butter is like when it gets on a comic book, it turned this comic into like a psychedelic blacklight poster. I mean, it looked or it looked like a Maxim cover that a 12-year-old hides under his bed. I mean, everything was discolored. It had weird splotches everywhere. And I'll never forget, I said to my mom, I was so upset because I go, Mom, this book's going to be worth hundreds of dollars someday. And my mother went, then maybe you should have taken better care of it. Get it out of my face.
Wait, so as a child, you didn't have the money to buy 2 comic books or multiple comics at cover price, but you had a trash can in your house full of butter? You were just that balling that you were.
Yeah.
Just throw the butter in.
We were a butter family. Yeah, we were definitely one of those families. Just rolling in butter. All right, there we go. And next up is issue 6. Now this is a big Spawn key. And it's not just a big Spawn key because it is the first appearance and cover of Overkill.
No, Overkill.
No, Overt with a T.
Weird. Why would you do that?
Because Tom McFarlane can't help himself.
And Rob.
By the way, I know this character showed up one more time. Does this character really ever show up?
He showed up a couple times.
Really? A few times?
The recent ones he showed up too.
Doesn't he jump to like other books though?
He's
like
in
Youngblood
Youngblood too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he early on.
He shows up a bunch?
Yeah, the early ones he's in Youngblood, and then
all right.
the recent like 300 plus of Spawn.
Overkill shows up again?
Okay.
Wow. Is he looking for his pension?
Tom's going to Donny Cates route.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But just so we're clear,
Like that.
there's another first appearance in this issue that cost Todd McFarlane many, 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 many millions of dollars. Does anyone know whose first appearance is in this book that cost Todd McFarlane real money?
Is it a female?
Hickman interested in the first appearance? Or in the appearance in this book?
I don't get the reference.
No, because he's not.
Is he?
No. This is good one. Good one.
Yeah, I couldn't think
All
of
right, no.
Is it a she?
It is not a she.
Because nine is the one that cost him a
See,
lot.
Is it Barry Bonds?
I'll say this. Okay, all right. Well, actually, you're kind of onto something.
Okay.
All right. It does have a kind of a relationship to a sports player. So at one point, Tom McFarlane lost a judgment that would have cost him $25 million. but he was able through the appeals court process to get it down to $5 million. It's hockey related. No. Todd McFarlane introduced a mafia godfather by the name of Tony Twist, who was a hockey enforcer for, I think, the Edmonton Oilers. And for some reason, Tony Twist decided that this was libel and it ruined his hockey career. So he sued. And for some reason, a jury actually sided with him for $25 million until an appeals court said, this is lunacy, but we can't fully throw it out. So, Todd, you got to give this dude $5 million or your balls. I mean, your McGuire balls. And Todd went, I don't think they're worth anything anymore.
See, my question is, like, was that...
Anyway, this book is a high grade at $10.
Was that case before or after the Los Angeles case?
Before.
See, that's crazy.
No. Todd's had a lot of...
You know what? They may have just been like, you know what? You lost one case by name rights and everything. You just go lose everything from now on. Come on.
I don't know. I can't believe...
Because Angelo's...
no, Angela makes sense. No, that makes sense because Neil Gaiman created the character. The whole, there was no like work for hire. He was like, and McFarlane not only kept the character in comic books it sold, but he created action figures. Like the character was making a ton of money, and Neil Gaiman was like, don't I get a portion? And Todd went, a portion of what? He's like, I don't know, the character I created for you? And not just created one character. He created the entire Angel kind of aspect, you know? And Todd was like, maybe not, because I got to come up with a 30th Angela variant.
I did Sandman. Someone will get that money, too. Just so you know.
Yeah, so he and then that was all wrapped up in the Miracle Man thing. And again, Todd did something really stupid where he introduced Miracle Man into, does anyone know what book Todd McFarlane introduced Miracle Man on the last page of? And the book never came out after that. They had to create miniseries. So obviously it's not Spawn. Sam and Twitch. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And Miracle Man, okay, first of all, Todd, you have a noir detective title with a fat dude and a skinny dude who has a smoking hot wife and a bunch of smoking hot children because, I don't know, that's a trope or something?
No, that book was awesome.
Yeah, it actually really was. Oh, by the way, who wrote the early Sam and Twitch issues? It was Bendis. Yes. Yep. Tom McFarlane really like gave Bendis his first real break outside of the indies.
But see, I enjoy those characters in the Spawn, like
no shade to Sam Twitch. They were fun.
The crazy thing, it's like
but
it was.
But it doesn't make sense why this supposed like down to earth or straight gritty book suddenly Miracle Man shows up at the very end, and they're like, "What the hell? That's a really pretty blonde dude." Yeah. And I gotta tell you, that killed McFarlane's. Like, I guess McFarlane thought he was going to create a precedent in the comics, or he overstepped.
I bet you it was like some kind of weird loophole where he thought he had to put it out, where he like had to get the character with his property
to kind of like show. It's kind of like how
so he could in court be like, "Oh, I use it all the time."
Well, it's kind of like how when I was in college, I didn't fully know how to do trademark and stuff. So what I would do is whenever I come up with a really neat idea, I would put it in an envelope and then mail the envelope to me. So I had a date stamp. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, look, precedent. You know? So maybe that's what he thought he was doing.
This line, to be fair, Darkseid's first appearance in Jimmy Olsen, that's Jack Kirby book. So there's no argument.
No, none.
Jack Kirby.
None. By the way, Kyle, there's like 20 minutes to 8. Were we supposed to do another break?
We're not doing a break.
Oh, we're not doing a break.
No.
Okay.
He asked if we run the break. We might cut a little early. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm pizzaing.
Oh my God, that's so trippy. I'm pizza-ing. Okay, cool. Hey, no problem here. Black Cat, #1 with Jen McKay, but it's a beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover. And people love when J. Scott Campbell draws cleavage. Good stuff. Yo, by the way,
I'm in trouble for drawing.
They do love that.
Well, he's been in trouble for that too. So
Yeah, it's true. And nothing's happening in the chat?
No.
Okay, because I'm just going to say it again, man. I want to talk about this because you've read it, but I don't know if you had. I finally got my hands on a Something is Killing the Children, the hardcover, so I'm not reading it. It's excellent. It's excellent. I still have your signed copy. Yeah, if anyone's interested in Something is Killing Children, #1, Virgin variant, because I love that term, signed by Jay Lee. I still have it. It's a high-grade copy. It's only $250. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's a fun, not fun. It's messed up. It's a good story.
All right. Do you think James Tynion's gay? Not that matters, but like all of his career-owned work, all the main characters who weirdly look like him are all gay.
You look at like Black Hammer.
And again,
the Black Hammer series, they had that one guy.
Tynion wrote some of the Black Hammer?
Yeah, he wrote the first.
No, that's Jeff Lemire.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Black Hammer?
Sorry.
You're thinking of Black Adam.
Sorry.
Dude, wouldn't that be awesome if Black Adam came out as gay? Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson's like, I'm
gay and I'm black.
Out of my face.
And again, like, no, I was just like not that it matters, but I was just kind of curious because
you're enjoying
the books. I'm just really vibing on it. It's
kind of creepy. I mean, I enjoy it.
There's something about it. So much fun.
Yeah.
You know, and Department of Truth is excellent. Nice House on the Lake is excellent.
Oh, Nice House.
I've been grabbing the Slaughter, the House of Slaughter, but I haven't read it.
I haven't read that one either, but
it's all connected, so I'm just grabbing.
But those characters are also gay.
Yeah.
Like in a weird way, it's a love story. You know, of this character who I'm at a point where he might have just died. I'm not really sure.
You know, does he identify as anything?
No, actually,
I don't know anything.
I don't. I was kind of curious because, to be very honest with you, James Tynion's like mainstream work didn't really interest me that much. But everyone kept telling me, like Marshall and Pete Hagen, they were like, "Yo, dude, you're gonna love Nice House on the Lake." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a try." And I tried it, and I loved it. And so then I tried out Department of Truth, and that was like made for me. I mean, I've said it on this before. It was like late '80s, early '90s Vertigo.
That was too much for me. That was something I was like, that's definitely up your alley. I'm like, yeah.
It was
okay. Like,
so good.
I really liked the first first 6 books, and then I was like,
All right. Well, because if anything else, it reminds me of why conspiracies used to be fun.
Yes.
Until, let's be honest, a bunch of middle-aged, bored white people suddenly really got into conspiracy theories led by their cult leader.
Would you say they chew?
Oh, God, man. Are we still waiting for JFK Jr. to come back? Is that still happening?
They're still in the Grassy Knoll waiting for him.
Yeah. What politician is now raping and then eating children? What is who's the new person?
Matt Gaetz.
Oh wait,
Sorry,
isn't the invasion of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, doesn't now that fit into the prophecy? The prophecy that seems to always change.
I gotta think about the birds. Somebody brought that back up about birds being robots.
Oh yeah, what's the whole birds being robots?
That
are
was
not
my
real?
favorite thing ever. Somebody posted "Birds are not real" as a poster, and that just blew up.
That was like a year and a half ago.
That was longer than that.
I feel
that's been like 4 years ago.
Was it a joke? Was it?
It was a joke.
Was it satirical, and then some people took it too serious?
Somebody posted online. It was like "Birds are not real." It's a pamphlet that.
Right, yeah. It was a joke.
Birds are not real. They're fake.
And then people showed how gullible they are.
Blew up.
Why would that blow up?
Because people are dumb.
No, I know that, but
people got no time. They got nothing else to do except play on their phones.
Man, I guess it's weird.
It's not. It's.
But again, but that was what was so fascinating about Department of Truth. Because again, I don't want to get too magical about this. I've tried my best not to be too esoteric on this show because most people have no interest in whatever. But I like the concept in the Department of Truth, which is when you start to have enough people that begin to believe something, at some point, that power of belief kind of warps reality. And let's be honest.
Happy Columbus Day.
Yeah, like the past, and again, like I'm trying Christmas. Oh yeah. But the past few years, like, has definitely been a warping of reality based upon a bunch of people who can't be dissuaded that what they've now decided they don't think is true, they feel is true.
And that's what makes it into reality. That's the great thing about it. It's like, it's what I believe becomes true.
Right. Well, because it coincides. Because like when I was when Al met me at first, and Al was like, "Yeah, this dude's weird. I don't want to interact with him too much." But I had a belief that like reality is subjective, and it's not really as real as we think it is. But like the more that we as a people in this world began to kind of recognize the malleability or the fluidity of reality, and that it would lead to something more optimistic, that we would kind of like take, not power, but we would gain a little bit more control and not allow other people to define reality for us. I thought it was going to be a lot more optimistic. And then the past few years, I gave people a lot of credit that maybe, because it happened, except it went the opposite way. And it's very pessimistic, and it's very scary, and it's very dangerous.
I saw something online that was like, I thought the pandemic, the world's going to be ending, it's going to bring out the best in people, and then this happened. It's like
it coincides with my favorite little pet theory, which was always that the world really did end on December 21st, 2012, except reality started breaking down on the edges. And so over the past decade or so, it's slowly been moving towards the center.
Until finally Kanye West is the only one left. Oh my God. I was right about everything.
Can you imagine? Okay, so you've ever heard this whole idea that reality is just a god sleeping, or reality is a sleeping turtle and we're all living on its back? Could you imagine if all reality is just Kanye West? Like he wakes up one day and we all stop existing? Yeah.
It's just Kanye West heads in
the
sky.
Wait. We're not allowed to call him Kanye West anymore. Yee. Yeah. No, I think he dropped the Z.
Yeah, he dropped
It's just Y-E, right? Yee.
Why save the time?
And you know what's terrible about his whole thing?
Everybody makes a good song.
No, right, because there are times.
Songs back in the day.
No, dude, not even back in the day. There are moments where he does stuff where I'm like, that's art. Like, even if it's like it's broken and it's coming from a really like negative place, I'm like, that is an artist. And then I go, who is crazy to the point that is dangerous to other people?
No, it's not.
No, it is.
It is, dude. You've seen that video, right?
I feel like at some point something's gonna happen. Like he's
like a break.
Yeah, like and people are like, I can't believe it.
But that's
like,
that's
how could you not see
you
anything?
You should be able to differentiate art and what you should and should not do as a person, and that's a concern to me.
Art is art.
Art's art. Exactly.
Okay,
Art's art. Art's not like I'm gonna go do this. Like you don't. Or if somebody's slitting the wrist in the bathtub, like you're not gonna go, oh, that's great. I'm gonna go slit my wrist in the bathtub. Oh, that's great. Like what?
Because for me, like, and I've said this before, the difference between art and entertainment, you give people what they want. Okay.
Yes.
Art is you challenge preconceived notions. You push boundaries. Now, for a lot of people, that is an excuse to be a terrible person or to be weird for weird's sake. Right? Like, I don't agree with them. So some things that Kanye has done, I'm like, that's art. I might not even like it, and yet I recognize something in it. And then he takes that next step. I'm like, oh.
Well, he believes it.
There's the art. There's what he produces as an artist, which is music, or I don't know if he does other things. Like I'm not talking about clothes and shit like that. But then there's like trolling Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian.
That's just trolling. He's not trolling. He's getting. That's too personal.
It's just like it's gossipy high school bullshit. That like who cares?
But at the same time, they take it too far.
Particularly for somebody with mental illness and Pete Davidson, who's had public bouts with depression and is very vocal about it. It's taking it too far, and that's where the danger comes in. Because you're making light of it for people that are struggling with that. And it's just like, are you a
He's taken it to the point where it's
and like, whatever. I mean, they're all celebrities. I could give.
No, I mean, we're obviously talking about a bunch of people.
It's a random person, like you knew
That's the
somebody.
thing.
I was
Like, you know, like
I would be like, yo, somebody's got to stop this guy.
I don't know how many millions of followers does he have on all his social media or Pete Davidson. Like, this shit is real for a lot of people just because we don't choose to.
And again, you don't know, like, some people might take something the wrong way and then they act out and it goes from being conceptual to being life and death.
Like January 6th.
Thank you, Jason. Al, hey, everybody, Al and I didn't say it. Yeah, we tiptoed around.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Yeah. Actually, on that note, thank you, everybody.
You got a quick question?
Yes. Please, Kyle.
Have you read?
Have you read regarding the matter of Oswald's body?
I have not. Is it something I should check out?
It's good conspiracy theorism.
Okay.
I heard good things about it.
Because again, I'm going to go back to this idea that growing up, and now again, there is some truth to certain, like MK Ultra, that was real.
Yeah.
Now it amounted to nothing, in meaning that like no. They never figured out how to do mind control.
Oh, no,
they never figured out, but
they
they
did a study of.
But for 40 or 50 years, the CIA ruined people's lives. Okay, so and
you could argue that since its inception, the CIA.
Yeah, actually, that's a lot of truth. Like, there is historical connections to the Bavarian Illuminati. Is Beyonce and Jay-Z part of the Illuminati? No. Okay, so there are kernels of truth to certain things. So conspiracies used to be not fun, but they were imaginative. No, like, because there wasn't as much real-world consequences.
Yeah.
So you can have fun debates with people. You can kind of go back and forth a little bit. But then we reached a point where people show up with AR-15s at pizza shops looking for a basement where a satanic cult of Democratic politicians are raping and eating children in a pizza shop that does not have a basement, let alone they're not eating and raping.
We should probably be careful about what we say.
You think they're going to show up? Yeah. All right, on that note, Kyle.
Come on down. We don't give a shit.
Kyle, thank you very much for the recommendation. I will check that out. I like that idea. Because again, I like whatever. I mean, hey, we've had a fun night tonight. Yeah, we really ran off the rails. Hopefully Mike's not watching anymore. I'm pretty sure as the experience begins to monetize some of these shows, we will not be a part of it, which is fine.
If Mike is watching,
I love you and good night.
Yeah, no, you don't have to pay us for the last hour.
Yeah, please. It's all good.
No, we had a very good day in the shop. It was very busy. That's part of the reason we were late getting started.
Yeah,
because we were on time, but we were scrambling.
No, we were scrambling because I lost pretty much like 10 of the books I was going to build the whole show around. Yeah. But it's okay. As Mike said, as long as you're selling books, I don't give a damn what you idiots are doing. And we went, thank you.
This was the episode to test that.
Actually, there's been a few episodes that have tested that at this point. I guess with that said, we're going to wrap things up. Kyle, I hope you enjoyed your pizza. Always appreciate all of your help and for tolerating us. For anyone who's still watching, thank you.
Kyle, what'd you get on your pizza? That's how the show started. What'd you end up topping?
I got one called the Carnivore.
Okay. Which is just all meats?
Salami, sausage, bacon, ham, pepperoni. Then I added mushrooms, extra cheese, and onions.
Kyle, we need to talk, you and I, brother.
Kyle, were you able to lift your pizza up?
Well, it was thin crust, and no, by the time I got it, it had lost all its integrity. So I had to basically fold it in half and use tacos.
Yeah, did your pizza become a soup or a stew?
No, I had to eat it like a taco.
Awesome, Kyle. That's awesome.
Kyle, tell your bedroom I said I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Our bedroom is already apologizing for Jason and all of his tinkles earlier. Anyway, for anyone who probably is not, but anyone is still with us, thank you. We really appreciate all the support. We'll be back here next week on The Experience. If you're curious, we'll also be on the Fat Jack's Comicrypt Facebook page from 4:30 to 5:45-ish.
Links at all for everything in our Fat Jack's Facebook page, including the Instagram, which is
at the FJC Paradox. Always appreciate the support. And if anyone is watching this after the fact, anything that did not sell on the show tonight is available. You can contact us through the Instagram. You could contact us through the email fjcc@gmail.com.
Or bring your lazy ass in here.
Or stop in or give us a call here at 215-963-0788. No matter what, no matter if we offended, I apologize if we did, but we really appreciate you hanging out with us. We have real fun.
I say that to say this, not to call anybody lazy. Stay home, I don't care. But as more and more people start coming in on Sundays, as you can see, they're going to start picking over the books that he puts aside for the show. So it's going to be a lot more chit-chat and a lot less books to sell if you don't come in and pick them up yourself. That's all I'm saying. Thank you,
but again, in all fairness to anyone who can't come in,
yeah, absolutely.
We will try not to, but
everybody stay safe first and foremost.
Yeah.
We'll get you your books. We'll get your money. Don't worry. You don't have to come in.
Well, either way, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Please share more love than hate. Take care. Be well. Peace.